Hey guys, it's Sandy. So I want to talk about these tariffs that everybody's talking about and how it can affect us and what we might need to do. Well, you have watched the news, I'm sure, within the last 48 hours. Trump signed the bill. He was putting tariffs on Canada at 25%, Mexico at 25%, and China at 10% tariffs. Canada fired back right away and said, well, we're going to put 25% tariffs right back onto America. Mexico kind of stood back for a minute and just kind of thought it through instead of jumping the gun. And they decided that they would help instead, that they would send 10,000 troops to the border. They would help with the border, the southern border. And right there, then Trump said, okay, we're just going to try to work it out. And there was no tariff then against Mexico. So Mexico and America, started negotiating to work things out. It's on a hold now. And then Canada, within the last 24 hours, they also came back and said, okay, you know what, let's negotiate this out rather than just immediately firing back. They're negotiating it out now. We'll send troops to the northern border also. Let's hold off on all the tariff stuff and negotiate it out. And now that tariff is on hold also. In the meantime, though, I don't know about China. I haven't even looked today, honestly. But in the meantime, people are freaking out about prices and what's going to happen. And I was reading a few forums where Canadians were worried, Americans were worried, and things within literally 2 days were completely worked out anyway. Put on hold, yes. But I believe that these countries, if they really wanted to work it out, they're going to. We'll see. I'm an optimist. Maybe that's just the way I think. But whenever people really started freaking out, though, and what do I need to buy? What do I need to get right now before prices go up? Well, from Mexico, we get a lot of things. I was reading about the cars that go back and forth between Canada and America and Mexico and Canada, all the car parts and how the prices of cars would go up. And we get a lot of fresh produce, and avocados being one of them. Well, California also gives us avocados, but we get a lot of them from Mexico. What can you do? Well, you can't just go buy a whole bunch of avocados because they're going to spoil. Now, you can buy avocados and actually freeze them. I do that when they start to go just a little bit bad. Put them in the freezer. You can't make guacamole with them, but you can get them out and put them in smoothies, and they work perfect. But you can't just go buy a whole bunch of produce, right? So what's common sense say what we should do about this? Unless you really need a car right now, you're not just going to go run out and buy a car. I was reading another thing about appliances, and that we get a lot of appliance parts and appliances from Canada. And, maybe if you're building a house, you might want to go ahead and buy your appliances just to make sure that you get them. Even during COVID, people couldn't get appliances because they were on back order for months. So maybe that's a good idea if you already know that you need to buy them. But otherwise, there is nothing to freak out about right now. But my advice, take it or leave it, this is just my personal, okay, not even my advice, my personal opinion on it is what it's going to be, is if there's something that you really use all the time, that I cannot live without this, go get it. Whether there's going to be a tariff on it or not, it just makes common sense to go ahead and get it and have it in your home. I've talked many, many videos about preparing and just having your home prepared for anything, whether that is weather, whether that is government, whether that is a job loss, a huge sickness that takes you out of the work field. There's so many things that could happen that could change your life significantly financially, and you might not be able to get things, or you might just not be able to go to the store. There's so many things that could happen. Preparing is just common sense. Again, our ancestors always did it. They always prepared in the summertime for the winter months. They were always putting up food. They were always making sure that the animals were taken care of. They had clothes. They knew how to sew. They always did common sense things that we don't do now because we don't have to, because convenience. Literally, I can hit the button on my phone for Amazon and it is here in one day, sometimes 2 days. So, convenience, I can run out to the store and get anything that I want, lickety split. We're used to that. But it is way smarter and wiser to have things in your home. So if there are things that you are worried about that's going to have a tariff, just go get it. Don't think, oh, now we've got a reprieve, so we'll just wait and let's see what happens. Just go get it. Then you have it. Then you're not worrying about those things that you use all the time. Plastics was something I was reading about. And for me, we do use all of this kind of stuff in our house. So I'm just going to, grab some extras and stock up on them. So I use freezer bags and I use sandwich bags for lunches. And I don't use a lot of aluminum foil, but I do use aluminum foil. I do use a lot of parchment paper. And, that's not plastic, but it's in the same category. I'm just going to get the things that I know that I use and have it in my home. Frozen fruit. That is something that we use a lot of because I told you in a video, and I think maybe the next video I'm going to make it for you. The last video and a couple videos I've talked about, my husband went to the doctor. He's a regular doctor, but he's so good that he was like, let's work on your diet instead of meds. And let's see if we can do it this way. And a few things that my husband had going on. And he was like, let's get a green smoothie going every morning. And I want you to this is how I want you to make it. This is what I want you to do. And he gave a whole plan. So I'm going to share that. But something we do is frozen fruit. We throw frozen fruit in with the green smoothie. And I am going to share that because I want you to know the ways that he told us to use the greens and rotate them and everything. But anyway, that's something that I know that I will use. Will that have a tariff? I don't know. But it's something that I know that we will use a lot of, so I'll just go ahead and stock up on it. What are some other things? Now, I had read about like wheat products come from Canada, but they're also grown in the United States. A lot of places in the United States grow them. They do not put glyphosate on it. And when I'm saying wheat, I'm talking like wheat berries to make your own bread. I've been making a lot of our own bread as far as just fresh milling wheat. After you find out the literally incredible benefits of it, then it's something you'll want to do. And it's actually quite easy and cost effective. You're going to save money and you're going to be healthier. So when I read about wheat, that doesn't scare me because I buy it from American farmers anyway. And as far as, the fruit, we grow a lot of fruit in California. So we do get a lot from Mexico, and I understand that. But we get apples from Michigan. They're shipped to Ohio, and oranges come from Florida, and a lot of produce comes from California. So even though we get a lot from Mexico, it didn't freak me out as far as produce. Cars, like I said, I'm not shopping for a car right now, so that doesn't affect me, but maybe you are. You might think about it. Will a tariff be put on them? We don't know. Nobody can tell the future, but what I'm saying is use common sense. If it's something that you're worried about that could go up in price, go ahead and get it. Just get it. There's a month reprieve right now. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on with China. I should have probably looked it up, but I didn't. But as far as Mexico and Canada, they've all come to an agreement right now. Let's work together, and nothing's going to happen tariff-wise. So for right now, then you've got time. If that's what you're worried about, you've got time to go ahead and get some things stocked up in your own home. All right, you guys, this was super quick. I think I'm going to do that green smoothie video next for you. That's all I have for now. Until next time, I'm out.